So as markets age, more suppliers enter the market and buyers tend to also become more sophisticated. And this causes markets to shift towards what economists call perfect competition, which is really just a fancy way of saying the markets get more commoditized and the only thing left to compete on is price. So if we know this to be true, the only way to continue to grow and maintain your pricing power so you can continue to charge premium prices as your markets age is to develop what's called market power. So market power is really the ability to charge more than everybody else and still have your competitors choose you. And the more market power you have, the less customers are sensitive to your price. And this is called reducing your price elasticity. So it makes your demand more inelastic. So to put simply, if you were selling a commodity like corn, if you raise the price of corn in your product, customers are going to respond quickly and they leave because they have so many different options that look quite literally identical. But again, when you have market power, you can raise your prices and customers actually stay. And that might be because they can't get your offer anywhere else. It might be because your product has a lot of switching costs, which makes it very hard for them to leave. Or it might be because you have a great brand loyalty and customers are just going to wait around and stick with you, opposed to really going out there and trying an alternative. So with all that said, how do you actually increase market power? Well, there's a lot of ways, but I'm going to give you 5. So the first one is category creation. So you could take a major category and then from that category, create a subcategory. So a great example of this is HubSpot didn't create the market for CRMs, but they created a sub-market for inbound marketing CRMs. And that allowed them to differentiate and punch through the noise. The second way is productization. So instead of being an everything to everybody agency, you could specialize down into helping med spas automate their business through AI. Specialists, as you probably know, command higher pricing, right? Like the surgeon gets paid higher than the general doctor. And also because you're working with the same customers coming from the same place, solving the same problems, your sales team works a lot better. And then your fulfillment is systematized. You can streamline and decrease your costs, which increases your profitability and ultimately your LTV to CAC. Now, the third way you can increase market power is brand. So you could build up your personal brand. So it goes without saying, if you're a business coach and you're competing with somebody like Dan Martell with 10 million followers, I guarantee that he's going to charge probably 10 to 50x the prices that you can. Okay. But just to give you something to think about, it doesn't have to be building up a personal brand. So for instance, McKinsey, which is a consulting company, they don't have a personal brand, but they're pretty much known as the top tier management and consulting firm in the entire world. So it can be a company brand or a personal brand, or even differently, you could get a brand endorsement. So case in point, I've actually seen this with one of our clients to where they landed a major celebrity influencer. And then guess what? It decreased their CAC by like 10x. So the fourth way is switching costs. So if your switching costs are high, it's hard for your customers to leave, even if there's attractive prices elsewhere. The best example of this is CRMs, because if you've ever been through it, you know that it's crazy hard. It's such a pain in the ass to be able to migrate from one CRM to another because they have all of your data. But even if you don't have a tech product, you can still embed yourself more into your clients' businesses. And the more you can do that, the better. So for example, a big reason I think our LTV is so high at Closer.io is the depth of relationship that's created between our account managers and our clients. So the account manager just knows so much about their business and they're so integrated into the business to where the client wants to stay longer to work with the account manager opposed to trying to find a different business coach. The fifth way is barrier to entry. So the harder your business is to get into, the better. So for example, I have a buddy who just opened a broker-dealer firm regulated by FINRA. It took a year and thousands of dollars to even get the licensing. And so even if people want to compete with him to be able to, essentially what he's doing is raising money for syndications and actually doing deals. But if you wanted to compete with him and you saw his ads, it would take you at least a year to even get started, let alone even catch up. Now, there's tons of other ways as well. There's network effects, accumulated social proof, access to distribution, and tons of other ways to increase your market power. But this should at least get your mind rolling on some ideas.